Okay, for today's video, I'm going to be showing FSD capability for, a normal morning commute. For me, it's I have a really simple commute. It's only 3.5 miles. Shouldn't take more than like 10 minutes. I've already done this a few times, and it's definitely not perfect, and there's probably going to be some times that I have to take over. So really the purpose of this is just to show you how this works right now, and then as time goes on, as more versions come out and FSD gets better, we can see maybe it'll improve and make this a little bit more reliable, because at least these days, since my biggest issue with FSD right now is how slow it is, and I like to drive a little faster. I mean, who wouldn't in a Model S? I really almost never use it for my morning commute, but today I'll be kind of demonstrating that. So one interesting thing here is that I'm in my garage right now. I'm going to be backing out into a little alleyway, and Tesla does not recognize the southern part of the alleyway. It only thinks there's a northern part, and it wants me to take the northern route in my neighborhood, which is objectively slower, and I don't know how. There's really no good way to override that right now. So I kind of, rather than engaging FSD right now, I drive just to south a little bit to get on a new route to do the route that goes south, because it just is objectively faster. So with that, let's get going. Pretty much just have to get out of this alleyway and wait for it to kind of reroute. So right now it rerouted, but I kind of just have to get onto it because, yeah, for some reason it doesn't recognize that this alleyway, or the southern part of this alleyway, exists. But it's figured out the northern part, so I don't really know. So once I get onto here, now I should be able to engage, now that I'm on the route. Yeah, I've just signaled for no reason there, and it comes to this roundabout and has a full stop. Yeah, it doesn't need to do that, so that's kind of just where it's kind of slow. Coming up to a right turn here on a fairly busy road for a morning commute. We'll see what kind of traffic we get. And no one's coming from the left, so we can go. Good job. And now I always have to manually increase the speed limit on my car because for some reason it thinks it's only 25 right now on this road because it hasn't seen a speed limit sign yet. So I have to manually increase it to 47 or something a little more reasonable than 25. And stopping for this bus, slow down a little bit, but perfect. It did not slow down too much. It slowed down about as much as I would have as a human. You would have maybe expected, oh, it's a big bus, better slam hard on the brakes, but that is not at all what happened. It handled that pretty perfectly. As I said, this route is really, really simple. It's not on any highway. It's kind of just going through this town road, if you want to call it that. Few stop signs, a stoplight, and we'll see what happens. It's really these stop signs where it's just frustratingly slow. Because, it's a morning commute, I want to get to work. And even though it's only a few seconds, it's kind of annoying. So we'll see what happens here. It's a four-way stop, and there are no cars here. So there's one car coming to our right, but we should definitely be able to go. And I'm just going to give acceleration right now because it was probably going to wait, and it confused that driver. So those are the type of things where it's just a little bit slow on its decision making. And all that I have to do is give it some acceleration to say, hey, yeah, you can go. But ideally, I shouldn't have to do that. And that just comes with it FSD being just faster in its decision making. And there is no reason to be, no, we do not need to be changing lanes. Right there, FSD was just trying to get over into a different lane for some reason. This is kind of one of the spots where it doesn't work really well, so I'll show you what happens here. And I have to give some acceleration because it was going a little slow. But see, it's going to try to get over into the right lane for no reason. Good going through the yellow, as it should. But yeah, no, it shouldn't do that. There's no reason to get into that lane. Because it just ends, and it's a bus lane, I think, or you know, whatever, to get into these neighborhoods. So I don't know, because yeah, on the route, on the map, it for some reason thinks that it's supposed to get into that lane. So it's not really an FSD thing, really. It's probably more of a Tesla Maps thinking we should be in that ending right lane, which doesn't make any sense. So far, we've had one stop sign where I had to give it some acceleration to not confuse another driver, and two, it for some reason decides to get into an ending lane, and we can definitely go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's a few seconds that it could be a little faster in the decision making. Like, there were no cars there at that four-way stop, but it still worked out. I didn't have to give any acceleration. It still did it just fine because there weren't any cars around and I wasn't, you know, holding anybody up. As we get closer to my place of employment, we're definitely gonna have to take over. I have it routed to go all the way to the parking garage, but once we're on my company's campus, it's kind of private drives, and it's also all really new, and FSD did not handle it very well last time, because there's a lane that it has to get over into and it doesn't know to do that, and I don't really know how it would. So here we go, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, see, it's 4 or 5 seconds that's wasted, even though it's not that big of a deal, because we're gonna come up here to a turn, another stop sign. And this is interesting. So at this turn, I've had to take over a couple times because it was creeping forward and I wasn't sure if it was actually going to stop and there was a car coming. So we'll see how it goes here. Oftentimes there are cars coming from the left and it has to go. So we'll see. We have no cars behind us, so we're not going to make anybody mad, which is temporarily. I also think it can get a little closer for the car in front of us, and there's a car that's coming to the left, and it is stopping. It creeped forward and stopped. Good, that was actually really good. I didn't do anything. I probably would have gone. It doesn't really matter because we're going to hit a red stoplight here anyway. And we didn't need the signal there for any, I don't know what the hell that was, but we're just going straight here, and then we're gonna be kind of entering kind of private property on campus, and it's not, and once we cross the stoplight there, we have to get over into the right lane, and there's no way for FSD to actually know that, because it's all really new construction and not really on Google Maps, or not Google Maps or even Tesla Maps or any of that. So I'm gonna have to do it myself. I can just hit the button to make it get over to the right lane, because it won't do it itself. And if it doesn't get over to the right lane, it would kind of just end. So there, I hit the turn signal to go into the right lane. That was me, because I know it wouldn't have done that itself. Because if I stayed in the left lane, it would have ended and taken me to a different parking garage. But the parking garage that I want to go, I have to go straight, and that you have to be in the right lane to do that. And again, there was no reason, I don't know why it just had a random signal there. That's kind of just another random signal. I don't know what the deal is with that. But yeah, this is cool. This is definitely, you know, this is company property. And so, not on a, you know, big public road, but still handling it pretty well. See, last time I came up here, it didn't handle this left turn very well. So, I'll be interested. It's not this one, it's the next one. All right, good. Very nice. And it doesn't know how, it can't go into my parking garage, so I'll take over here because we are at the garage. So that was really good. Again, the one takeover was more of a Tesla Maps issue. I really don't know what we can do about that. And then the other times where it's just, we can go a little faster. You know, I don't want to waste so much time on my commute. Even if it's a few seconds, I'm just kind of an impatient person, and then like I like to go fast in this car. And especially when there's no cars around, like, let's go. Or if there are cars around, like, we have to have really fast decision making. Otherwise, you do confuse other drivers, which of course causes problems. Which is why, you know, this is a beta software. You have to be ready to take over at any time, as I do. But otherwise, it's mostly a pretty nice drive, and I'm excited to see this continue to get faster and improve more. But overall, that actually did feel pretty human-like for the most part, except for, you know, a couple blips. So excited for what's next.